to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I'm filming my TBR for February. So what I've been trying to do this year is just use my TBR jar. This contains like different prompts. You'll see them in a minute, I guess. I pick 5 every month and try to read based off of the prompts. I wasn't that successful in January. I'll have another video about that down below, but I thought I'd give it another go for February and see if it's something I want to continue with or if it's something that's just not working for me. But yeah, I thought I would just draw the 5 prompts today and chat to you a little bit about what I might read from that. My actual goal for the year is to reduce my TBR by 100 books. Most of my TBR is books from Scribd or from my library. I don't own that many, so yeah, it will all come from there, but we will see what I get. So this is my jar, and the first prompt I'm gonna pull out is paperback, which is quite an unusual one for me to read a physical book. I don't tend to enjoy reading them all that much, but I have a lot of paperbacks downstairs on my shelf that I might decide to pick up this month. So there's one. The next one is Place in the Title. I pulled this one out. Did I pull this one out last month? I think I did, but it was one that I put back in there because I've got so many books with places in the title, and I should specify that I'm going to pick a different book for each prompt. I'm not going to try and double up, just for personal preference. So I have that one. Then the third one, the colours also don't mean anything, it was just the paper I had to hand. Ooh, Chinese. I think I only have one Chinese book on my TBR, which is Owlish by Dorothy. I may have a non-fiction about China as well. Maybe I could read that one. But yeah, we'll see. Then number 4, we have a graphic novel. I don't know what I'm gonna read for this. I'm not really feeling in a graphic novel kind of mood recently, but I'll see what I can find. And then finally, for prompt number 5, oh, this is a really interesting one. This is my most average book. So I basically have a list of, it's only an estimate because it changes all the time, but like on Goodreads, of the average rating they've got, and also the number of pages. So I might go for most average in terms of like my average rating and also my average number of pages as well. So maybe I'll read 2 for that. I don't know, I might even turn that into a full vlog. I think that might be quite interesting. But yeah, they're the 5 prompts I have. So now let's go and choose some books. Okay, so I've been having a look through my collection, and these are the books that I've decided I'm going to pick up potentially in February. The first I've got is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is for the paperback prompt. This is a classic which I've been meaning to read for a long time. It intimidates me a bit because it's quite chunky and the text is not small, but like it'll take a while to get through. It's 441 pages, so yeah, I don't really know anything about this. It says, working as a lady's companion, the heroine of Rebecca learns her place. Her future looks bleak until on a trip to the south of France she meets Max de Winter, a handsome widower whose sudden proposal of marriage takes her by surprise. She accepts, but whisked from glamorous Monte Carlo to the ominous and brooding Manderley, the new Mrs. de Winter finds Max a changed man, and the memory of his dead wife Rebecca is forever kept alive by the forbidding housekeeper Mrs. Danvers. So it sounds quite Jane Eyre-esque, I think, and very gothic and creepy, and I'm excited to finally get to this one. Then for the prompt, it was a Chinese book, either a book about China written by a Chinese author or a book written in a Chinese language, I have decided to go for Owlish by Dorothy Say. This is a magical realism, I think. This is one that I will either really get on well with or really not enjoy at all, I think. I requested this as a an arc when it came out, which was probably about 2 years ago, and I still haven't got around to it. I don't think it says on here who the translator is. I don't have it to hand, but I'll leave it in the description. Again, I'm going to read the blurb out to this one because I don't really know anything about it. It says a professor falls in love with a mechanical ballerina in a modern and uncanny fable of contemporary Hong Kong. With your face covered, sneaking into a city you thought you knew, are you still yourself? Or have you crossed to another world where the streets are unpredictable and the people strangers, where you might at any moment run into an unknown dream version of yourself? In a city called Nevers, there lives a professor of literature called Urquh. He has a dull marriage and a lacklustre career, but also a scrumptious collection of antique dolls locked away in his cupboard. And soon Urquh lands his crowning acquisition, a music box ballerina named Alice, who has tantalisingly sprung to life. Guided by his mysterious friend Owlish and inspired by an inexplicably familiar painting, Urquh embarks on an all-consuming love affair with Alice, oblivious to the protests spreading across the university that have left classrooms all but empty. The mountainous city of Nevers is itself a mercurial character with concrete flesh, glimmering new construction and colonial flair. Having fled there as a child refugee, Urquh thought he knew the faces of the city and its people, but Nevers is alive with secrets and shape-shifting geographies. That to me sounds a little bit like Poor Things by Alistair Gray, maybe, and I did really enjoy that. So if they're quite similar, if there are like some similarities, I will probably enjoy it. But yeah, magical realism is one of those things that I either really like or I just don't like at all. So hopefully this will be one that I like. It has a 3.45 rating on Goodreads, but it's a Fitzcarraldo, at least it was published by Fitzcarraldo in the UK, and they tend to be like quite literary books, and I think super literary titles tend to divide opinion a little bit, so hopefully I will enjoy that one. Then for place in the title, I decided to cheat a little bit, kind of. I've gone for Northwards by Daniel Mason because I really want to read that. I bought it when it was on Kindle sale in December and I still haven't got to it. It's a 2023 release, and I'm just so excited to read this. I've heard nothing but good things. From what I understand, this is a sweeping historical novel. We're starting off following a puritanical community in New England, and then we just kind of get a glimpse of life spanning from there throughout the centuries, I think. Both the British and the American covers are absolutely stunning, and yeah, I'm just so excited to read this, and yeah, I thought I'd cheat a little bit with the prompt to get a book in there that I've been wanting to read for a long time. So for the graphic novel prompt, I'm kind of between two very different choices. The first one I might try is just one of the graphic novels in the Moomin series, because I've never read any of the graphic novels before, and I think they'll be quite cosy and easy to read and will either get me out of a reading slump if I find myself in one, or I just know that I'm not going to be put into a reading slump by reading one. So there's potentially that, depending on how my reading month goes. The other book that I'd like to read is Berlin by Jansson, again another graphic novel, a non-fiction, and we're sort of charting the history of Germany from the Weimar Republic to sort of like the rise of fascism, and this just seems so good. It gets so many amazing reviews, and I've been wanting to read it for a long time, but it's quite long. I think it's about 500 pages, so that would be my preference if I have the time to get to it, but I think normally when I read a graphic novel I kind of read one to find it a bit easier to consume than like a traditional novel, or I don't know, I struggle a bit with non-fiction, I think, and graphic novel is what I'm trying to say. I think I've mentioned it before that there's not always a huge amount of space within a graphic novel to tell all the sort of intricate details about the history, and I'm the kind of person that likes to know everything that I can. I don't like sort of there being gaps. So I mean, I can just do my own research. I know a fair bit about the history of Berlin anyway, that's what I studied, but yeah, I will see how I feel about that one. I really do want to read it, it just depends if it's the right time for me to do that. Then I have my most average book, and I'm not gonna work those out here. I mean, I say work it out, I will just type AutoSum in Excel and that'll do it for me. But I'm gonna make a vlog out of that. I think that'll be quite interesting. So yeah, you'll see those in another video hopefully. And then as a bonus book, I might try and do the Buzzwordathon prompt for February, which is like a happy word, because I'd like to read Ordinary Wonder Tales by Emily Urquh, which is an essay collection on disability justice. Emily Urquh has a disabled child, and yeah, I'm just really keen to read that. It's got some really good reviews from people who are disabled, because I think as a disabled person, sometimes when you read takes from non-disabled people who have disabled children, it's not great, but this seems like it's handled sensitively and well, and yeah, I'm excited to read that one. So yeah, that's my TBR for February. I feel like it might be a bit optimistic because that's potentially 7 books that I'll be reading, and I know for a lot of people that's not a lot, but for me it is. I work full time, and I also have a small child, and not a huge amount of free time. It hasn't left a lot of space for audiobooks, so I maybe will pick up a separate audiobook, just an easy, like very plotty thriller or something to listen to on audio. But yeah, that's my plans for February. We'll see how well I get on with it, and maybe I will continue to do these TBRs, maybe I won't. I think maybe this month's a make or break month for me, but thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.